Hey, if you married recently or you've been married in the last 3 years, you may want to pause and listen to this as I answer this question. A few days ago, I said the most difficult years, in my opinion, of any marriage is the first 3 years. And I've been getting this question a lot from the brothers on why are the first 3 years the most difficult. Now, the first 3 years are the most difficult because the, let me put it bluntly, the campaign is over. The campaign season is over. You know, when you're dating, no matter how long you have been dating, you are still campaigning to prove to the person that I am husband material or I am wife material. I mean, most of my content I create for men, but women can listen. And so you're campaigning to prove you are husband material. But after you have married, it becomes difficult because now you're having to adapt to the new arrangement. You're having to adapt to the new arrangement of your space because a lot of the time, not always, but a lot of the time, the woman moves in with the man or they move into a new place together. Now, what happens is that you are beginning to adjust to having someone in your space. It used to be your place, and for those of you naughty ones who used to go and spend weekends, which you should not have been doing because it creates bigger problems, and I'll talk about that some other time. Even if you were going to visit, there was a set time you would be there, and then you would get up and go home, even if it was a whole weekend. But what begins to happen now is that you wake up, the person is there. You go to bed, the person is there. You go to the washroom, you see the person around. So you begin to realize that your space, for some men, it feels like they are choking because all of a sudden there's someone in your space and the person is not going anywhere. Then you need to also adapt to the new scheduling of time. In the past, you wake up when you want to wake up, you go to bed when you want to go to bed, you leave the lights on when you want to have the lights on. If you wake up in the middle of the night and you want to do something, you turn the lights on and do it. And all of a sudden, there's someone now around you who will be telling you when to sleep, will be telling you if the lights should come on or not come on, will be help dictate the meals that should be eaten. So all of a sudden, your routine and your scheduling is under attack. And then now you have to be accountable. I've been married for over a decade, well over a decade, and I still have to be accountable. Sometimes you're walking out of the room and they ask you, where are you going? And you're like, it's our house. Do I have to report where I'm going to? But all of a sudden, you're accountable. You come home. Back in the day, you could come home at any time. No one says anything. Now, at a particular time, someone calls you and say, where are you? What time will you get home? And when they want to ensure you get home at the right time, they say, when you are coming, buy bread. So that's the first thing. Adapting to the new arrangements becomes difficult. Then, if you stay to the end, I'll give you maybe 3 things that you can do that will help improve it. But then, also the money issue. Now, how you spend your money is dictated by the person you married. And then the third thing is that all of a sudden faults are magnified. You see, the moment you live with someone, you begin to see a lot of faults that you didn't know existed. I was dealing with a couple one time and the guy was so mad. He said, I have this beautiful wife, exceptional woman. I love her so much, but every morning I get angry. I said, why do you get angry every morning? He says, when she uses the washroom, you need to give the place about 30 to 45 minutes for the place to air out. And it is the kind of, they had only the bathroom where the toilet and the bath are in the same place. So he said, I'm constantly getting late because nerve gas. Yeah, she's pretty, but so, and vice versa. Men also do very horrible things that you begin to realize when you are married, their faults are magnified. Then you will realize that you married the person's personality, but now you have to live with the person's character. You married the person for how fun they were, how they were the life of the party. But now you also realize that even though they are the life of the party, when they get home, they just crash and they will not lift a finger to do anything. So now you're dealing with the character. Now, so all of these things are some of the things that make the first few years difficult. As you go on in marriage, you learn to adapt to one another, and it helps. Now, I promise that I'm going to talk about 3 things that you can do. One of the things that we do for premarital counseling, we call it pre-entrance. Are you with me? It's pre-entrance. Some say preemptive, some say pre-entrance, whichever one. I like to call it entrance. Pre-entrance expectation mapping. Okay, that is when, before you enter the marriage, you map out the expectations. You need to talk with your partner and map out the expectations. 3 remedies for the first 3 years. Number 1, you will have to learn to cope before you can change anything. You can't start out a marriage by trying to change the person you just married. You've been married for 3 months. His mother couldn't change him for the 28 years she lived with him. Don't think you're going to change him in 3 months. So the first thing you need to ask yourself is, how do I cope with the things I don't like now while we hope to see change? The second thing is, instead, whenever you have quarrels, instead of taking entrenched decisions, the best thing to do is saying, can we try for the next 3 months or the next 6 months? Everybody should manage his own money and we'll see how it goes. Can we try for the next 3 months? You drive and I will take public transport. But you just don't start saying, from today, I'm going to take public transport. Take your car. I don't want your car. Or car. No. Don't take entrenched positions. Any decision you come to in the first 3 years of marriage, let the person understand that, can we try this out? And the last one, which is so important, and this is so important, please listen to me. If you're in the first 3 years of marriage, every quarter, go and meet with someone you respect and have a marriage check-in with the person. So if you have an uncle or an auntie or a pastor or a marriage counselor, ideally you should get a marriage counselor who every quarter you guys can just sit down with the person and have conversations about the marriage. What's been going on that you have loved over these last 3 months? What are some of the things that are happening you are not too happy about? And as you talk with the counselor and explain it to the counselor, your partner understands you better. Uncle Josh has to run. I have some other things to do. Take good care of yourself, and I hope this has helped you. Uncle Josh is out.